will take me down underground or take me down below. Oil up the buggy, for it's time to shoot some coal. When your family gets hungry, you'll do anything for work. Carved out a living in Pennsylvania.
Coal was formed over 250 million years ago in about the 500 square mile region of northeastern Pennsylvania, from around Wilkes-Barre all the way down to Dauphin in Dauphin County. The purpose of our video is to explore three distinct eras of Pennsylvania anthracite mining. Those eras would be from 1790 to 1890, from around 1890 then to 1930, and then from 1930 to the present day. What we'd like to do is start this video with representation of a time period around 1860, where we're going to see some miners and what it's like to mine coal in Pennsylvania in the first era.
So now here we are at the face. This face of coal, or this breast of coal, is what we now need to drill into, set our black powder explosives, and detonate them so that all this coal breaks loose. The most important thing that the miner's going to be doing for the whole morning is drilling his holes for his shots. All right. Now, most of a miner's day was spent just drilling into the coal so that we could set our explosives and break the coal loose. This is going to be several hours of my morning just drilling for my shots. Okay, we withdraw the hand geiger. Now, we're going to be setting our black powder explosives into these holes. Miners were required to pay for their own black powder. My wife's often the one that makes up these shots for me. It's wax paper wrapped around a black powder charge. Will you get me my tampon bar? I'm going to put my black powder up into the hole. I'm going to take my copper-tipped tampon bar or wooden tampon bar, and I'm going to pack it up in that hole. And then I'm going to be taking fistfuls of dirt and clay off the mine floor and pack it up in that hole. Jim, will you get me my needle? Now, I'm going to insert my needle all the way to the back of the hole before I've tamped it the whole way shut. And I'm going to puncture my explosive so that a little bit of black powder is going to leak out of there. And I'm going to put some more clay and dirt up in the hole and tamp it shut. And I'm going to keep doing that until my hole is totally packed shut the whole way out. And the reason I'm doing that, when I detonate this explosive, I don't want the explosion to just shoot out of the hole. I want the explosion to be trapped and to break the coal loose. Once my hole's totally packed, I'm going to carefully withdraw the needle. And I'm going to insert a small squib, which is a fuse with a small amount of explosive on the tip, into the hole. Now, I'm not ready to detonate yet. I have to warn all the other miners down in the pit with me that I'm about to set off my black powder. Fire in the hole! Fire in the hole! Fire in the hole! Jim, you ready? So now that our breastwork is done, we're ready to come down and have lunch. While we're staying in the mine, because we need to count all 10 of our charges and make sure they've gone off. Once the charges have gone off, the coal's loosened, it comes flying down and it hits the chute, where we're going to load it into our coal buggy. Finally get paid. Now here we are in the gangway. This is where we're going to take the coal that we blasted up on the pitch, load it out of our wooden chute, and load it into our coal car where it can be shipped out of the mine. Now, down in the mine, there's going to be several jobs. You've got a miner with papers. He's up in the pitch. He's the man that's doing the breastwork. He's going to be setting timbers for the next charge. Now, down in the gangway, you're going to have some laborers. You're going to have miners' helpers loading the mine car. You're going to have mule boys. You're going to have spraggers. There's a whole series of jobs that could have been found down in the gangway. Now, you as the miner, you only get paid for the coal you produce. So down here in the gangway, you want to make sure that your 4-ton coal car has 4 tons of coal, not slate. For when your coal gets to the surface, they're going to know it's your coal because you put your individual ID tag on the front of your coal car, hooked it on the front. When that gets to the surface, they're going to inspect your coal car. If it's got too much slate in it, they're going to dock you half pay. Now, if it's a good load of coal, you're going to get 10 cents a ton. On a good day, you get out 10 tons. 10 cents a day, or 10 cents a ton at 10 tons a day, you're looking at about $1 a day for 6 days of work. Now, if you put slate in there and they catch it, you're going to come payday and hold out your hand expecting $6, and you're going to get $3. Now, don't you go complaining. If you get complaining, you're going to be fired and blacklisted. Any miner that's blacklisted is not going to get work at any other colliery in the coal region. So let's quit talking and make some money. Going to load the coal out of the chute, load up the loose coal in the gangway.
Of what it was like to mine coal in the era of black powder and oil lamps, mining hard anthracite coal here in northeastern Pennsylvania. Much of this mining was done by a group of immigrants who were seeking freedom and better opportunity here in America. People from Ireland and Scotland, the English, the Welsh, the Germans, all of them coming here seeking a better life. I don't know, did they attain it? With the introduction of carbide lanterns and nitroglycerin-based explosives like dynamite, a new era of anthracite mining was introduced into this region. It lasted from approximately 1890 to around 1930. Never before and never since has as much coal been brought out of the mountains of Pennsylvania as during this time period, reaching a peak production of almost 100 million tons around World War I. Saw a new era ushered in as well with people coming from Eastern European countries this time, Slovakians and Lithuanians and Poles and Russians. Whole group of people coming in to make a living here in the mines.
Said we're marching on for liberty in this land of the brave and free. Said I'm sick of living my life like a piece of machinery. Said son, I'm sick of living like a second-class human being. We ain't asking for charity, just a little equality. Well, as the men marched on to Latimer, believing all was fine, Sheriff Martin, he had him 100 men waiting down the line. And they were armed with sheriff's rifles. He had deputized every man, yet not a single marcher had a weapon in their hand. Well, the sheriff, he opened fire, and the flag fell.
What makes anthracite coal very unique is the fact that it's pitched. Basically what happened is millions of years ago, as the Appalachian Mountains were formed, over time the Appalachians bent as they grew. Sometimes the pitch can be anywhere from 40 to 60, even 90 degrees straight up. Most of the time, a lot of the miners are working at about a 50 to 60 degree pitch, which allows the coal to very easily be gravity fed down the chute into the cars that was demonstrated a little bit earlier. The era of carbide lanterns improved lighting, but it didn't necessarily improve safety. One of the key things that a miner always carried with him in the mine was his miner's lantern. If you lift it up towards the ceiling, he's looking for methane gas. If the flame would get a little higher, blue, that means there's methane present. Got to watch out, explosion might occur. He would use the lamp, it would always be at his side or putting it down on the ground, and if the flame would lower, That means that there's carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide present, which obviously is not good as well. Those are the types of things you find in cigarettes, and we know how bad those are for you. The 1930s ushered in the last era of mining here in the Anthracite region of Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, it was an era of decline. There are a variety of things that actually led to this, three in particular. First was the Great Depression. With the stock market crash of 1929, the next decade was a very, very bad time economically here in America. Second was the introduction of petroleum into both industry and the home. And last was a series of very bad mine accidents, most notably of which was 1959 with the Knox mine accident, where basically the Susquehanna River flooded into the Knox mine and consequently flooded the entire Wyoming Valley, just crippling an already hurting industry.
So take me down underground or take me down below. Oil up the buggy for it's time to shoot some coal. When your family gets hungry, you'll do anything for work.
So that gives us a little bit of the history of mining anthracite coal in Pennsylvania, the three distinct eras. From 1790 to around 1890, where we have the black powder and oil lamp era. Then from 1890 to 1930, with the carbide light and the nitroglycerin. And then from 1930 on, the more modern coal mining time, where we have a variety of people that are still at this business, whether it's small, independently owned mines operated by families and individuals, to large corporations. I would like to give a personal thanks to the people here at Ashland at Pioneer Tunnel for allowing us to come in here today to do a little bit of photography and telling us a little bit about the history of mining in Pennsylvania.
David was a miner all his life. Worked underground in hard coal, 3 children and his wife. But this year's been a bad one down at the mine. Oh, it's hard coal, hard times. Well, it rained hard last night and it took our drought away. There's no rain hard enough to wash away these days. So for independent miners whose life is the mines, oh, it's hard coal, hard times. It was a year ago now, an explosion underground took the life of a good man in the heart of his town. A death is never easy when they go before their time. It's hard coal, hard times. Well, do we even get it? Do we appreciate it all? When we turn on computers or switch on the wall, the power we rely on in these electric lines comes from hard coal, hard times. Well, it rained hard last night and it took our drought away. But there's no rain hard enough to wash away these days. So for independent miners whose life is the mines, oh, it's hard coal, hard times. There's a saying in the region that every ton of coal contains a drop of miner's blood bled in the hole. Please give thanks, think about it from time to time, for it's hard coal, hard times. Well, it rained hard last night and it took our drought away. But there's no rain hard enough to wash away these days. So for independent miners whose life is the mines, oh, it's hard cold, hard times.